Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are here for game number 3 of this grand final between Team Dog and TNC Predator. It's MLP johnxfire. John, welcome back, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Mike. We had a great back and forth already. First two games, each team taking one game each. Last game around, TNC went back to something that they did run yesterday in the upper bracket finals. It's a bit flat this time. Team Dog was ready, and then we're going to have to try to approach the game a bit differently. We saw what really worked in game one. They abused the overconfidence that Team Dog had going into the storm. I think they might want to consider baiting Abed into those situations. They did ban the Shadow Shaman early from Team Dog, so you didn't have that option for TNC. I think that's one thing they really needed there. They didn't have the hardest control coming out beyond the Venge stun on TNC side. It was good. They had a follow-up from KP, but you really wanted something like a Hex to hold down in your dream there. That was a big issue. He was zipping in and out of these fights on his AM, and Abed's Quap got a massive start early. The Morphling lane just did not work out for Armel there.
Yeah, I mean, everything just panned out almost perfectly from Team Dog that game number 2, and it was a similar story for TNC game 1. It's been two very dominant games from either side. I wouldn't say either game was really that close when it came to which team was winning. Still, we do go into a new draft now. TNC Predator, they go back for the position 5 Enchantress. That's, of course, going to be for Febby. Team Dog, I wonder what they do want to prioritize for their first pick, but they'll actually take the Mirana away from TNC Predator. And we saw previously as well in the first ban phase, they banned out the Shadow Shaman. So, Shaman's gone, they take the Mirana, and you start to ask the question as to what Tims is going to be playing this game. The answer may be the Void Spirit, potentially. We don't know quite yet.
Yeah, it's fairly open for TNC. Tim's Void Spirit, it's been a while, but this is something he does know how to play. Of course, this could be our KP hero, this could be our Mel, so a lot of flexibility for TNC in their opener with the Enchantress. The Mirana is really just nice into the Enchantress as well. We talk about this every time, but you enchant the creep, the Mirana's probably going to find it with the arrow, so you do have to watch out for that from for TNC. If they want to try to maximize that, Febby's going to have to micro those creeps well. Team Dog also managed to fall back into the Undying. Steady pickup for Team Dog. They've loved going back to this hero. Paulson does deliver. He just gets his spacing right, can get the heals off. In laning, it's pretty nice to have as well. Dropping some of that strength and allows you to get some zoning around there. So, a strong pickup for Team Dog. TNC gonna have to find a way to respond here. They do have some solid control with a Void Spirit alone, but the Enchantress, the effectiveness of that against Mirana, it just always seems less than ideal of a pick now for TNC.
That it does. We'll go into the next ban phase. It feels like Team Dog again is not really showing too much of their hand here. For the third time in a row, they've gone for that Undying support. I believe that should just be another POS 5 Undying, and of course we already know that Mirana's going to be a POS 4. But as far as that goes, it's more of a deny pick against TNC. I'm very curious as to what kind of strategy TNC goes down this game. The Morph win ranges seem like a good way to go. It looks like they've given up on the Morphling entirely now. They're not planning to go back to that. Or maybe they do if it's not banned out. You just never know. Both teams, of course, can be quite desperate to get this game 3 victories. It will give you the 2-1 lead, which will mean you're one game away from being able to pull off the grand finals. We'll have to wait out this ban phase before we get to go on, as TNC Predator are wasting a fair bit of time. They actually, interestingly enough, got rid of the Pangolier themselves, and now even the Timber, so it seems like they're just focusing in on those Ice heroes. Perhaps they felt like Ice may have had a bit too much impact that last game, which I wouldn't disagree with, because he was having a hell of a lot of impact. So they just want to try and make it as kind of uncomfortable for Ice as they possibly can.
Yeah. Still has a couple of options available here for Ice, though. Tidehunter's in the pool if you wanted to. Viper still remains in that pool, and he did deliver the goods on that Viper last time, so you could still go for that here for Team Dog. TNC, if they just focus on these Ice bans, you leave a lot of option for Abed. They do take out the Morphling, so that does clear them out from the Morphling themselves. TNC is going to have to approach this game differently. Team Dog, for their part, those big offlaners we mentioned are in the pool, and a lot of Abbott heroes are left in the pool as well. So Team Dog has a lot of leeway here in what they want to go for. They also have last pick overall, so if they want to let the mid pick slide through the second phase, could try to pocket it for the last pick overall, and they could try to go for something flexible in these next 2 picks first.
Sure. Well, Team Dog, final ban for them. The In Your Dream Anti-Mage has been left there if they're looking to go back to that this game around. TNC not really caring too much about it apparently, just leaving it there. It's like Team Dog will ban out the Doom now as well, so just wanting to make sure that they don't have to play up against the Doom this game. It's absolutely fair enough, because Mel, if you felt like he was having a bit of a tough time in the mid lane, you can go back to the Doom, and Doom just generally, at minimum, evens out the lane with Devour. But this third pickup now, got to see some cores coming up from both these sides. Team Dog to start. Now, generally, they leave the Ice Hero till last. So, it is very possible we just see an In Your Dream or Arbit hero pop up here. Preferably In Your Dream, I think, if I remember the pattern correctly.
Yep.
There you go, the Troll's out. Right.
We've seen this come out every now and again. It has been a bit mixed, although I believe Team Dog did manage to get it running for In Your Dream. I feel like I would have preferred something like a PA here instead, like it was left in the pool. You could have picked up the Slardar or the Magnus afterwards as well if you wanted to combo that way. Still, Troll is still pretty nice. You don't have the best supports for it though. Like you've got the Undying for heals, but nothing like an Oracle or a Dazzle even to help you maximize your Battle Trance there. But it's still rather effective. We'll see what timings In Your Dream wants to hit. I do recall that he likes going for the Battle Fury buildup. TNC, go into the Shadow Demon. Again, as popular support that we've seen is one way to maybe kite around the Troll Warlord. You've got Disruption coming in. You've got the Demonic Purge as well, which is fairly impactful in kiting a melee hero like this around. So Team Dog, In Your Dream specifically, will have to watch out for the Shadow Demon's positioning. Of course, TNC with the Shadow Demon and the Enchantress can actually stack a ton of camps up. They might be looking for something here for Gabby that will take stacks really well and kind of benefit from that flash farm here.
Well, I mean, you brought up the PA, and that might just be the option for Gabby if he wanted to go down that route. Might be a little bit risky into the Troll Warlord, but they could definitely give it a shot. Because Arbed will be able to go back to his signature Storm as well, so they get that very comfortable kind of mid-pick. And TNC, playing no games, will go for the Lina pickup now, so the mid lane is still kind of flexible, but I believe it is going to be KP on the off lane Void Spirit, and it should be the mid laner coming out for Armel. At least this way it kind of guarantees that Armel should be able to pretty much just win the mid lane, because he has such a big advantage on the Lina versus Storm matchup. And so that leaves an Ice hero now, and a Gabby hero. They have given the chance for Team Dog to get rid of the PA if they so wish.
10 seconds.
I think the Void might be a little bit scary as well for Team Dog to go into right now. Even though it did receive those nerfs, but it still seems like Void is still pretty powerful, and there you go, they banned it out now.
Yeah, it would have been a bit silly to let that slide through. You've got the Lina already that kind of gives you damage from outside as well. Even the Enchantress can kind of do that. Of course, it's one of the best pieces of control to keep a Storm in its place as well. So just a straightforward ban. TNC, for their part, do take out the Night Stalker and are still thinking about what Ice hero can come out. They take the Bloodseeker out. So just trying to free themselves from worrying about Rupture, worrying about the combinations you can get with the Blood Right, even the damage amplification he does get with his Rage out. So just covering their bases here. Does leave a couple of options. Tidehunter comes into mind. That is something Team Dog could just go for. And it's a very solid pickup for Ice. He does love playing that with TNC. It's that PA we were talking about slides through. So they've got that physical burst along with Lina with magic burst here.
It's going to be a very, very interesting kind of draft here from TNC. I do get very confident when I see the Gabby PA pop up. We have seen In Your Dream on the Troll as well. We have seen a bit of Troll, in fact, and it has looked very strong in this current new patch. So I don't want to rule out the PA versus Troll matchup, but I think when you have the Shadow Demon there, to just throw the Disruption out on the Troll through the Battle Trance, it does seem to get very difficult. as the Troll Warlord to get much done. And you may kind of go back to just kind of relying on the Storm Spirit to get a lot of damage out and have that control while you are disrupted. So that is, all this being said, Ice, he is still lacking his own hero. Now, generally speaking, we don't see him taking on that kind of damage-dealing role. He's usually quite a mischievous off-lane player, just trying to create space for his team and be as annoying as humanly possible to the opposing side. What do you want to give the man, though? His Viper is still there if they want to go back for that.
Yeah, they've still got the option for Tide. I think Viper into PA is all right, especially since you don't go for early evasion anyway. So that could be annoying to deal with. They could try the Brewmaster. It's in the pool, although it has only been KP picking it up recently. But Ice is also a very mean Brewmaster player. And he is a very fun Brewmaster player as well. He's the trolliest one you can think of. So we'd love that to slide in.
Oh, man, that first time we saw that Brewmaster split with no cooldown. They'll go for the Enigma instead. And that's, I guess that's one way to kind of counter out the PA. You have the Midnight Pulse, you have the Black Hole, the damage is kind of insane. You can go into the late game now, and you might not be quite as worried about having your Black Hole cancelled off once you have a BKB up, because there's really nothing to go through it apart from maybe a bash off Gabby if he gets lucky by throwing a dagger out, but that's all I'm seeing here. So once Ice has the BKB, you're in a bit of trouble. You've got to watch out for the Enigma. Overall, though, which draft do you think you like a bit better here, John?
It's a bit hard to tell. I think both drafts are fairly even. They've got fairly interesting spikes to hit. I think this time around, Team Dog, with Abed Storm coming through, he doesn't have to worry about a Hex. You know, he doesn't have anything major in terms of control that counteracts him. Maybe a disruption to LSA, maybe a disruption into the Remnant from KP, or an Enchanted creep from the Enchantress is it, but otherwise our Storm can just zip in and out. That's the biggest factor here. If Abed has a good game, he will buy space out for In Your Dream and even Ice to make use of. And we did see that in Game 2 for Team Dog. So I think this time around, compared to the Game 1 draft with Storm, this is a much better Storm game for Team Dog. I'm going to have to give a slight edge to Dog for having that comfort pick. It's still into the Gabby PA, so they've got comfort picks here as well for TNC, but I think Team Dog should be ready for that. We'll just have to wait and see how much Ice can get from his own lane and what itemization he goes for. Is he going to opt for a fast BKB blink? Is he going to save up for the arcs into Mech, into Guardian Greaves that we tend to see? It's fairly open for what he wants to go for in the Enigma here.
It certainly is, and we'll see what he does get up to. But a 1-1 so far. We are in a tied situation for the Grand Final. Winner of this game will be able to have a 2-1 advantage going into the fourth game now. So definitely a very important match between these two. I'd say if you do have that one-game advantage, you're going to be feeling very, very good going into the fourth game, which it might give you enough momentum to just try and pull yourself over the edge. See how much Team Dog and TNC can get done. And it's very, very hard for me to not have faith in the Gabby PA, I've got to say. Then again, though, Abed Storm, obviously very, very scary as well.
Yeah. It's two really strong signature heroes coming out here, so both sides are pulling out all the stops, just wanting to find that advantage into forcing the other team up against the wall. It is basically a best of 3 now because of that 1-1, so you do want that advantage going to the best of 3, which this kind of is now. And again, I'm just surprised here, Mike. There's just no alt chat. There's just no one throwing shade, making comments, or even wishing good luck. It's still all biz here at Game 3.
Yeah, I mean, it is a grand final, John. There's no friends in war. And there will be no talking until we crown a victor, I'm sure, between these two. Of course, TNC are looking for revenge from that upper bracket final that they did lose to Team Dog. If they can win out this game. We will get into it, of course. Top lane, you're going to have Arfu there, around with Ice on the Enigma. It's like Ice has already denied off 2 creeps in this first creep wave. In fact, never mind, one of them has escaped, but he is intending on trying to deny a secondary creep. It will be the range creep, of course, that he does want to get the deny off on. It's going to give a very nice advantage, but Gabby was in range for that range creep. So overall, they don't get as much value out of denying it as possible. Gabby still does get some free XP for himself. See how he does in the lane. Enigma can be very, very tough to lane against. It's so easy to kind of deny creeps off with these Eidolons and just not give a proper lane over to Gabby on this PA.
Is going to struggle for the first few waves here because of what Ice has done to the equilibrium. You've also got Febby being rather disrupted by Afu, just being chased around while he's trying to fix up his camps. Is at least going to find the D wards, but he's not going to have a pull camp as well. So it's going to be slower for Gabby. He is getting some EXP out, but Ice is definitely getting the start he wants. We'll see if this is something they can fix out. It will take a while for TNC to kind of sort that out. The mid lane is where it is a bit spicy. You talked about the Lina versus Storm. Armel is having that good start you mentioned, just slightly better with his range, much better wave clear with a Dragon Slave as well, and Febby.
Now, Febby does end up getting the first blood. Afu just maybe overextending a little bit, and Febby, he had that level 1 enchant, and of course at level 1, Miranas tend to go for the arrow, so you didn't have the leap away, and Gabby was there with the follow-up damage. And you really can't underestimate how much slow that level 1 enchant does do. It is quite a lot. So, the Mirana takes it, you are more than likely going to die. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, it's still playing tag here, Afu, with Febby. Not really able to interrupt what Febby's doing in these camps, and this is just exactly what you'd want as the Enchantress, just being disruptive. This is giving Gabby so much less pressure in his lane. He's still finding some steady farm, matching the pace of Ice. Ice does have a lot of denies, but that's to be expected. Still sort of an okay lane here for Gabby overall. Gonna have to see how it holds up.
Mid lane, he did throw the Vortex out onto Armel, but didn't bother going for the Static Remnant afterwards. I think he just wanted to try and threaten Armel a little bit, but doesn't really do too much as Armel now lands the Light Strike array. Arbit's just taking so much damage on this Storm. Of course, down at the bot lane, you've got KP and Tims there, up against Polison on that Undying, and, well, Polison might kind of be dead. Trying to run away, it looks like he is going to remain safe, has the Soul Rip anyway. And of course, the one player we didn't mention is going to be In Your Dream, who is farming just fine for now. Top of the last hits board, not really struggling whatsoever. On the side, everyone really dropping low across the map. Tims was dropping quite low, but he's going to be fine. This Mirana, Fu, going to TP back to the fountain. Looks like he was dropping very low. And even Arbit dropping extremely low on the Storm Spirit. Everyone going to survive, however.
Yeah, just playing poke with each other here, trying to get each other to waste some resources on the map. Going back to that bot lane, In Your Dream having the smooth start is a bit of a cause of concern. KP on the offlane. Void Spirit, of course, can just hold steady, get some EXP up, but he is not going to slow down the farm of this troll. And that is going to be an issue. Like, you're already seeing pressure applied to Gabby. He's still finding last hits, but it cost him every single time. Whereas for In Your Dream, in contrast, he is 27-7. This is pretty much a free lane. This does mean In Your Dream's going to have good timings into the Battle Fury if he wants to build that. And that is something TNC has to watch out for. If you allow In Your Dream to free farm like this and hit the Battle Fury timing better than Gabby will, it could cost you a ton.
KP gonna make the jump in onto In Your Dream, but now Tim's actually gonna be in danger. In Your Dream might just get the last attack off, gets the daggers out, but it's not gonna be enough. Some nice body blocks there from KP. It's gonna save Tim's life on that Shadow Demon, but he is gonna have to make the run back up towards the fountain, or maybe not, because he does end up salving up. But it is still gonna allow In Your Dream to just keep freely farming up. And that Troll Warlord, just one of those position ones that can dominate a lane pretty much by himself. It's just so powerful with the ability to switch to that range form at pretty much any moment. He's even going to just go for the 5-minute bounty rune now, and there'll be no contest for it.
Yeah, and this is one advantage for Team Dog. In Your Dream's got such a good lane. They can leave him alone. He can still secure runes. They can focus on trying to make it hellish for Gabby to farm. You're seeing Ice now pull ahead for PA as you'd expect. The supports are given a lot of room to just play tag here, although Afu is forced to go home. But the concentration on In Your Dream with his dual lane just isn't lining up. Like, maybe they can land the Disruption Remnant combo again and get enough damage out. You're going to need to stack up more Shadow Poison stacks on this Troll, though, and there's just no opportunity to. So TNC off to a slower start, not really losing too much, but you do worry about the initial farming state here. After that first blood, the lanes are still going Team Dog's way.
That they are.
Structures against attack.
Mid lane, Arbet gonna jump in onto Armel, getting a fair bit of damage out on this Lina. Armel still gonna be okay for now, but Arfu jumps in but doesn't get the arrow off. Ice Ice Ice, meanwhile, solo picks off Gabby. He did commit the black hole straight off the bat, but it's well and truly worth it if you can get a solo kill on the opposing pos 1. And that's exactly what he does.
Yeah, I love seeing this from Ice. You know, we see some Enigmas not even opt to level the black hole, but going for that early black hole leads to a nice kill, slowing down Gabby's farm. It has already been a slower lane for him. Now his Battle Fury timing compared to In Your Dream is definitely not going to line up. And that's going to be an issue for TNC. Gabby will need to flash farm at some point, and the map is, you know, at the least your two other cores are fairly selfless.
Oh, look at this.
In that Void Spirit and the Lina.
Look at Arbet, stealing stacks away.
Ooh.
It's going to be a lot of gold. If he does get it, Armel is going to come in now and try to make sure that they do not get those stacks. He might be able to clear them out with the Dragon Slave. So KP does kill off Arfu, and they'll turn back around onto Paulson. The Undying getting very, very low, and eventually just accepts the fact that he is just dead. To secure the kill, and they basically get none of the creeps off that stack. It's going to be a pretty nice little win there for TNC.
Yeah, to get some good punishment in. I believe Abed got like maybe just 5 big creeps, not substantial, but that does force them to clear it out earlier. So that means you're not giving this to Gabby, again, slowing down the PA in the end. I think that's what Team Dog was looking for, just forcing them to clear these stacks out, not give them to the PA, slowing down the timings of Gabby down the line, and continuously buy space for In Your Dream. When they made that movement out, they left In Your Dream alone. He's at level 7 now, he's got his phase boots, and he's just saving up for his own Battle Fury. So things are going smoothly here for Team Dog. Even Abed, his lane matchup was back and forth, is lagging behind a bit. He's going to need to get some space out, but so far I don't think he minds too much as long as In Your Dream actually does have a good start.
And that's it. Armel getting a jumped here by Arbet. He does have Paulson behind, and that'll be a massive pickup if he can take it for Tims. It's there with the disruption. Still Arbet, he got a last hit in. The Light Strike Array was not timed well. Arbet is going to die for his trouble, but it's well worth it. Paulson now also going to be in danger. Is taking a hell of a lot of damage on that Undying, but he is set to fall, and Gabby will be the one to take the kill. But considering the fact that Arbet was so far behind Armel on the Lina, you are going to be pretty happy with taking that kill.
Oh, definitely. It's a net gain there for Team Dog. Be happy getting a little bit of acceleration into Abed. He is still going for that Kaya into Bloodstone buildup, as we tend to see, so not going to be diverging from that buildup here, but that should still line up rather well. And Abed is still making some space out regardless. Like, Abed may die, he's forcing attention down mid. Isis is left alone to play greedy up top on the Enigma. He is going for that arc into Mech, into Guardian Greaves on the Enigma. And so far, it's paying off. Like, no one's contesting the Enigma, no one's contesting the Troll. TNC's attention's all kind of dedicated to finding the Storm and reacting to Abed's aggression, which is exactly what Team Dog wants. They're just pulling ahead slowly but surely in that fort, and they are clearing the map a little bit more efficiently here.
Gabby gonna find Arfu on that Mirana. They get the creep, but the black hole out from size. Is it gonna be enough? Arbet is gonna jump in, and they do burst down Gabby. A great black hole out from size from the high ground, and now Febi's also gonna die. And that's something you don't see every day, John. And Ice, a very confident black hole does end up working out in their favor. And even In Your Dream in the mid lane, picking up Tims on the Shadow Demon.
Oh yeah, it's
KP, he ends up getting Paulson on the Undying. Not too big of a deal, I guess.
No, definitely not. You are so much happier here on the side of Team Dog. They get the mid-tier 1. Looks like they will trade their bot tier 1 for this, but a much bigger target going the way of Team Dog, opening up the jungle rotations, and looks like they are still playing tag, keeping so much pressure in Gabby. He's just never free to farm up. It's slowly building up into the Battle Fury, but In Your Dream is definitely a step up here, and that's not good news. Gabby, he is the PA player to watch out for, but it's been a while since we've seen him playing from behind, this far behind as well. 3.9k on the PA, In Your Dream at 5.5, a pretty big difference there.
That it is. See how quick Gabby can catch up on this PA, but it's one of those things that the first carry that gets the first Battle Fury is generally the one that just takes the lead the whole game. Still top lane, Ice going to be perched up immediately and they will just burst him down. He does mech up, but it's not going to make all the difference. Arbed, however, going to zip in after Armel, but does get disrupted up. Can they hold him down? No, they can't. Armel still going to be chased down, however, a nice light strike array, but he is going to die now. Arbed wants to go for more onto KB. The Resonant Pulse is going to be enough along with the Shadow Poison of Tim's. He got the leaner, ends up costing him his own life. I start to question how worthwhile this is for our Storm.
Yeah, definitely not worthwhile there. They trade 2 cores. And the big one is losing. It's actually losing Ice. That makes it painful because Ice is worth a little bit more than Abed. And you trade off those 2 cores. Good pickups for TNC. Finally finding some punishment out on the map. And that's what they need to do. They need to move as 3 or move as 4. Buy space out for Gabby. Get some pickoffs going. They've got good control with the disruption setup, and they can definitely play with that, as there's no defensive items yet here on Team Dog.
Well, Afu, Arrow does scout out Tim's, but they don't want to really make the jump all the way back there. Team's just kind of happy to sit back and give space. I say that, but Team Dog are being a bit more aggressive here on this Radiant side, as this net worth advantage, they feel much more confident. In Your Dream on that Troll, going to have a very, very fast Battle Fury timing at this rate. You'd give it about another 30 seconds and the Perseverance will be up. And that is going to be very quick when you consider the Phase Boots and the Wraith Band and even the Magic Wand. Mel going to show up at the bot lane, but he doesn't really catch out In Your Dream. And In Your Dream, not going to waste his time. He seems to sense that the side of TNC is down at that bot lane area. Does TP into the mid lane, back to his triangle. While the rest of his team, they go up to the top lane, and well, you could just pressure another tier 2 tower, especially with these Eidolons.
The beauty of the Enigma pickup, you can get a good push going even without the Necronomicon creeps. Of course, TNC down bot are trying to do the same, doing a lot of damage onto that tier 2, and it looks like Team Dog actually aren't committing too much up top, so it will just force TNC to face off against that fortified. They do Moonlight Shadow though. It is only Afu and Pulson nearby, so this might be costly if they do overstep.
It may be. The Moonlight Shadow, they feel confident. No sentry wards around here from TNC to scout this out, or as I say that there is one on the ground there. Afu now underneath it, but it's not going to matter. It looks like he does just arrow the creep anyway, and that will make it very obvious there were invis. That's it, really. Apart from that, Febby does buy a fluffy hat, John. Fluffy hats are very nice and fluffy.
It does seem a bit more to wear a fluffy hat, but what else is up is In Your Dreams Battle Fury's up. So he has cleared out his ancient stacks here. He's clearing out the camps now. It's a lot faster to farm up. This disparity between IYD and Gabby is going to grow a bit wider. Now, Gabby's actually not too far off from his battle tier, about 1,000 gold off, but how long that 1,000 gold takes is going to be pivotal in how far IYD widened this gap. And you can see Ice, he's just left alone. The solo push top. Like, he's got the Eidolons down, his creep wave is coming in. There is a smoke from TNC, though. It looks like they want to flank this maneuver.
They definitely need to do something. T2's going down for free. They need to do something about it. They jump in onto Arbed, but he has a haste rune and he just zips away. TNC still trying, but the smoke's too obvious now. Nothing going to come out of it. Like, they don't even get the top bounties. Arbed will take those. They should be able to get the bottom ones, as Gabby is around the area to just collect it for his team. You look at Gabby's farm, though. He is really struggling right now. Still needs one more component for that Battle Fury, but he's just almost 3k behind In Your Dream. That is not where he wants to be as the PA.
No. It's also really troubling when you see Gabby's level 9, and he knows he's really far behind in EXP. He's actually queuing up the tone himself. Never a good sign when your pos one's going for that.
Mid lane, Purge is going to be out onto In Your Dream to make sure they can't chase down Armel. I think Armel is going to be just fine. We do have a smoke up now, Team Dog. Or DD Rune found out. Tim's just going to deny it, and he does spot out Ice. Let's break the smoke of the Enigma, but they still just continue. With the Moonlight Shadow, they run straight into Tim's. Tim's goes for the disruption, but there's your Tombstone being dropped by Paulison, and Tim's will just accept the fact that he is dead. They want more, though. They'll go after Febby in the back lines with the arrow to connect. It'll be another nice, easy kill. And Gabby is around the area. He is blurred up, so they can't see him right now. Looks like he should be just fine to get away.
Yeah, would have been nice to pick off Gabby here. He's just waiting for a few more gold to get a battle here, so you would have stalled it for at least 20 seconds more, maybe a full minute more if you got that kill. It should be smooth sailing now that the gold's going to be recuperating. TNC going to be playing in that triangle. You can see Team Dog going to try to clear out that top tier 2 now. They do have the numbers here. They've got the black hole already. Ice, speaking of, is saving up for his BKB next. So he was getting some good black holes. Without it, this time around, he can be a lot more offensive and up in front with his own BKB being formed up relatively quick. Gabby, of course, we talked about it. The Battle Fury's up 17 minutes in. Good, what, 3, maybe 4 minutes later than In Your Dream. Does have a huge stack to take, though. This is definitely going to help the cause here.
He needs everything he can get right now. Problem is, the Roshan might be taken while he's taking that stack. That is not going to be great news for TNC. It's very hard to fight into this Roshan, even if you were aware of it as well, right? Because you're going to be fighting into a black hole of Ice. He's not going to make it easy. So they may kind of sniff out the Roshan now, but it is too late. But of course, we'll take the Aegis on the Storm, and that is going to give them a very kind of confident next 4 to 5 minutes for Team Dog. With TNC, they might just have to try and avoid Team Dog to the best of their ability. I think it is going to be way too dangerous to run into them right now. They may have no choice in the matter, though. KP scouting out will spot out Ice, but Ice Sims as well, and they commit the black hole immediately. They just want an easy kill. KP, however, still gets the Yules off. It won't matter, though. The Static Storm is going to be waiting for him. I do like that from Ice. I think if you're not using the black hole anyway, you may as well commit it. And it seems like he is well aware that TNC is not going to want to fight when you have the Aegis up on your Storm.
Yeah, it's just an opportunistic pick-off here for the side of Team Dog. He also understands that he'll probably not want to throw it out randomly anyway without the BKB. So this does give him some use before the BKB's up. It should line up. The cooldown should line up with when his BKB recipe flies out. So it's just perfectly timed for Ice. Going to be really grateful for finding that kill. Right now, Team Dog working through that map, taking over the triangle. They've got some good wards now watching that area. They've also got a nice jungle entrance ward to keep an eye out for the movement of TNC. TNC map is growing a little bit smaller, if not a bit riskier to farm in. Gabby's still saving up for his Desolator. Really need that item to be up.
Arrow
control, though.
Gonna land on to Tim's. They want that Shadow Demon dead, and they will get him, but Gabby is gonna jump in after Arfu. They'd love to go after Arbed as well, but he's gonna be okay. Still, Armel will come in from the left side. He will Light Strike away, and Laguna, Arfu on the Mirana. It's gonna be a 1-for-1 on those position 4s.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
How's Gabby's farm going after that Battle Fury? I think he's
KP?
Uh-oh, KP. He has an Astral Step charge. He's going to try, but the Midnight Pulse is there, and they get the Malithus off. Very nice play once again from Ice on the Enigma. And Ice, he's going to have that BKB up extremely soon. It's not going to take very long. But John, if I may, we might get to see the Fan of Knives from Gabby.
Oh yeah, he's queuing it up. Interesting decision here for the I mean, it is an HP scaling damage skill. So when you're behind, that's going to do a lot of damage to them as they are farmed up. It's going to be exciting to see that fly out. I do believe the Desolator is going to be done first. Looks like Gabby is going to prioritize a normal build first, but I am looking forward to this one. The Ags is also queued up by Gabby. So, hey, looks like he is experimenting with his PA now. Should be careful as he's being rotated on.
They don't have the black hole for another 20 seconds, so he might feel safe enough. He's going to go for a TP play out, and he's going to make it, but bot lane, Armel gets caught out on the leaner. Arbed able to take that one along with Arfu. That's a pretty darn big pickoff. TNC just, again, trying to just avoid the side of Team Dog, but now KB, he may not have a choice in the matter. He gets stunned up. He'll get it dissimulate out. They did not get any lucky snares there on In Your Dream. But now you've got the BKB up on In Your Dream. You've got a BKB up on Ice Ice Ice. He's going to start working towards the Blink Dagger. And the situation keeps looking worse and worse for TNC as time goes on.
Yeah, it's not looking smooth. We're still waiting for this Desolator on Gabby. He does have the gold, so it should be flying out soon. They're still lacking some farm here. KP still saving up for his Ags. He's definitely not taking farm priority at all. Armel does have his Shadow Blade and Yule, so he's actually the most farmed up right now in Lina. Needs to make that work, however.
Nice arrow block there from the creep of Febby, making sure KP does not get stunned up. Ice still just happy to walk in and go for a black hole if he needs to. Very confident with that mech BKB being up. Meanwhile, bot lane, In Your Dream, just going to solo push out the bot tier 2 tower. He's going to make quick work of it as well. It's really not going to take that much time. It's gone. Armel might find a big pick off here. Ice, no, he gets the BKB off into the black hole on Arbed. Just going to zip right through. Where the hell did he go? The disruption was there. Armel is still maybe going to die. The Yules is out in time. He's trying to run. He can't get out though. Arbed will zip right after him. They purge up In Your Dream to try and make sure he can't chase any further, but he will pop the ulti. He will take down Febby, and now Tim's also being caught out by Arbed. They will get another. And it's looking to be another very dominant game here by Team Dog in this game number 3. TNC are still struggling to find their footing.
Yeah, they're still lacking a lot of farm, and Armel, he was the highest farmed on his team. Now he falls behind even Gabby. Gabby needs to make this investment work, does have the Deso up. Did not go for the shards, by the way, Mike. Okay, he is just going straight for the Ags.
Alfu did not connect the arrow. It did land on a jungle creep, but KP still getting caught out thanks to the TP rotation of Arbed. And I'm sorry, John, you were saying about the shards.
Yeah, he's not going for the shards. Gabby's going for the plain old Ag, so no fan of knives. No old school, old game skill. He is rushing the Divine right after, so you can see Gabby knows what this game is boiling down to. If he gets that smooth ride into the Ags Divine, you might see a good bounce back here, but TNC, they have smoked up, trying to make something happen here, but they are just 3 heroes. They're down KP as well.
They are. Arbed going to bottle up a Haste Rune. He's going to narrowly avoid the smoke out from TNC. Still Armel with the Shadow Blade. He's going to go Invis now, having a look around to see if he can find a target, but there is no one around for him to go after. You look back at Ice Ice Ice, he's a couple hundred gold away from having the full blink up now, and that's going to be a very, very scary time. For TNC is now an arrow. Tim's, he does not flinch. I probably would have, but he doesn't. He'll just keep TPing. Febby hiding in the tree line, also not flinching, and he's going to be fine. Everyone somehow survives on TNC.
Yeah, that's a very spicy sneak spot there for Febby. Might be in trouble now. In Your Dream might have caught the tail end of that.
No, he didn't.
Doesn't look like it.
Get the vision, however. Arbed zipping in, found Tim's, and it looks like he also found Armel. The Aghanim Scepter up on Arbed means he can go for that AoE Vortex into another. They go after KP now. The Void Spirit is also going to go down. And I suppose this is that point where it gets really scary to be on TNC. You just don't have the magic immunity you need to go up against this AoE Vortex of the Storm. Things are getting very, very tough.
It's scary. You're going to need a BKB now as well, and Gabby, but seems adamant about going for this Ags build. They are going to slowly siege up, but their creep wave was cut off, so they've only got one shot at this. Looks like the tier 3 will still fall. It is a troll. He does melt towers quick.
That he does. He has no fear in the world. It's just nothing to be afraid of here for him.
Is under attack.
Just back off now. Nice and easy. Into the mid lane they go. They still have the blink coming out, I believe, for Ice. He actually went for an Aether Lens, which is very interesting. No, he actually didn't buy the blink. He went straight Aether Lens. What, this builds into something now, doesn't it? Didn't they introduce a new item with this Aether Lens pickup?
Yeah, it goes into the Octarine.
Right, okay, so they just switched it around.
Yeah, it looks like Ice will just go for the Octarine. Still into the Roche pit, TNC. No vision outside. They don't quite see this one happening. It's going to be a big take for the side of Team Dog. Aegis Cheese on the table. Abed going to be appreciating either one. And In Your Dream can have a little bit more leeway up front. You can see the lines drawn, but TNC just can't move fast enough to contest this.
No, you can't. And an MKB now up on In Your Dream is going to make it that much harder to fight into this troll. I believe with this, Team Dog, they want to try for the high ground once again. The first time around it was very, very easy, but this second time around it should not be quite as easy. In Your Dream seems to want to try for the top lane rather than the mid lane. That's fair enough. The top lane is definitely going to be easier to push in than the mid lane would be. They are going to be fighting into the Gabby Aghanim Scepter now, but he does not have buyback gold. They kill him once, this game could be over. The Hail Mary play from Gabby. Light Strike Array is there. The Aegis not going to expire. The mech going to save In Your Dream. And now Armel going to be in massive trouble. He's a sitting duck and he is going to die. They just go for the rats. Armel, he can buy back. He will hold on for now. They've got to find a way to try and initiate as Abed. He gets the initiation off into 3 with the black hole out. Ice, locking them all down. They'll buy back now. It may be too late though. Gabby, he's going to blink strike away in time. KP going to jump back in. The troll falling low, but he still has that Aegis and Abed once again. A two-man vortex catching them all out. That might be GG. An ultra kill up for In Your Dream. They even got an arrow out onto Gabby. A rampage up for In Your Dream now. And that's it. They call it. A dominant victory for Team Dog in this game number 3. And Johnny, it was quite dominant. I mean, they had this game the whole time.
Yeah, it reminded me of game 1 there for Team Dog. Abed this time around, you know, he had a good matchup for his Storm. He didn't have to worry about the Hexes. When that Shadow Shaman's gone, you know that Abed's just going to be eyeing that Storm pickup. He does manage to have a good time here. And even In Your Dream, he had a really free lane. KP on the off lane Void Spirit. Even when that troll was left alone, they couldn't do enough to stop IYD's farm. Gabby was under a lot of pressure in his own off lane. Ice working that Enigma well. That first wave deny just absolutely ruined Gabby's chances early levels. So you've got to watch out for that movement here, TNC. Really strong draft from Team Dog. Really confident movement out as well. And TNC, well, it's their turn. It's their backs against the wall this time. They need to find a win if they want to force a game 5. But Team Dog, they're going to be very happy about how that came out here.
Oh, absolutely. And we'll see how it does work out in game number 4. It is MLP Dota and it is johnxfire. We'll be back in 10 minutes with our game 4. And we'll see if TNC can force to a game 5 or whether the side of Team Dog are going for a 3-1 victory. We'll be right back.